Hi, everyone. This video will show you how to draw this tree. The tree that drew with the brush that was specially created for this effect. Painting mostly is the matter of color theory. You still can follow this tutorial with any similar brush in your library if you don't have one of these brushes. Hope you like it.
Let's get started with the canvas. We using 4000 by 3000 pixels. First thing to do is to sketch out the shape of the tree. We can use any pencil that comes with Procreate, and we just need to casually to get the shape of the tree. For those custom brush later on, I will put the link down below in the description of this video. Alright, that's enough for the sketch. It doesn't need so much detail, because after all we will delete this sketch layer at the end. And I suggest to lock this layer, to prevent it from being colored wrong later on. Now, add another layer. And select this brush, I name it Treetop Stamp. This is the key brush for this painting. I'll start with a light yellow color. And the brush size around 45%. This brush setting does have pressure sensitivity. If you are not familiar with it, you can go around for a few tests. Depending if you want to draw a brighter result, then you might want to go with a lighter press. In this video I will do lighter contrast on to the whole picture. Okay, I'm enough with the yellow color. And now, add another new layer under this layer. The reason under this layer is because I will paint the darker part of this tree before going for another tone. So in this second layer I will use dark blue and pull a little to green. This layer is representing the behind and under part of the tree, those areas without the sunlight there. Now back to the top layer, and continue to do the fade from light to dark, from the yellow, light green to dark green. And don't go too bright with the color. Desaturation will give a more nature feel. Anyway, we not going for very realistic detail, but still we want good illusion. When we come to the darker green, I suggest reducing the brush size. Because of the setting pressure, the harder you press, the thicker color. And also you want to remain the bright light area, so the smaller brush size will be more easier. Now you can turn off the sketch layer, and we were almost done with the treetop shape. And I want to add some more in the behind area, which is the blue part. Just to make the whole shape look better. If yours looks good already, then you can continue ahead. Well, I am satisfied with this, so I merge down this two layer, and add one layer above. Then select one common brush. I will use the one in my set, I named it Hard Edge A. This is the most common brush I use most of the time. Now use your finger to select a color around, here. This time, I will create some spots probably between the shades of the color. You can place some outside. And do not follow the edge exactly. That won't look good for drawing the natural object. So randomly place them between the shades and slightly darker than the base color. Let me show it on the side. The shape of the spots is probably like this. Or stroke like this. This will give you the effect of looking like many single leaves with their own shadow. Always change the color, but don't go too far contrast with the place you want to paint. Now add another layer. In this layer we'll add some dark blue color as the inside of the tree. The stalk shape will be like this. The important is the bottom. You need to create some leaves shape at the bottom. And keep it stay sharp. And for the top part, we will use some soft edge eraser to feather the top edge. Lowering the opacity of the eraser can be easier for you to do the job. Now I merge down this 2 layer after finish. Or you can keep the layer for some color adjustment. Now back to the previous layer. In this part is about adding additional color to the tree. Use the freehand selection tool to draw and select this area, like this. Feather about 8 to 10%, and then tab copy paste. So we got another layer for color adjustment. Now click the magic wand icon and select the first adjustment. Hue, saturation and brightness. And apply to layer. Swipe the hue to change the color. Saturation usually allows you to blend the object into the entire scene. And the brightness, darker or lighter, also help to create contrast. So pick the color you like if you have your own idea. And then use the eraser to remove any parts you don't want. Now back to the main shape layer. I will do it again for the additional color. This time I select some place that feels like the front part. This time I adjusted the hue to brown or orange. This gives something like a dry leaf feel. You don't really need to follow me on merging the layer if you still want to do any change. Now turn on the sketch layer and add a new layer for the trunk. Use dark brown color and stay using the hard edge brush. Then use pen pressure to draw the lines of different thicknesses and crook. Also, try not to lift your pencil off from the screen oftenly. Here I show you the way I paint this tree trunk texture. Example with the light from left. So I place thicker stroke at right side. For the light side with intermittently and thin crook lines. And also use some different brown and light brown for the base color. Now for the grass. I do have the grass stamp in my brush pack, but I prefer a more simple description in this drawing like this. For the floor now, low saturate and low opacity green. Make it in another layer in case we don't want it. A bit similar to painting the water. This gives a little feel like a swamp zone. We are almost there. Now adding some branches between. Place it where it looks like the distance of front and back. With low opacity dark brown. This is the finished artwork. Next, I will draw another tree in the same way, but just a different shape, with time lapse. Alright, that's another tree. Before I end this video, and last thing I will do is make a quick shadow and paper texture for this one. And put them side by side. For this shadow I just merge the whole tree but without the ground and duplicate one copy of it. Then do adjustment on brightness to black. Duplicate and merge again until it's barely not transparent. Now flip and distort like this. And then reducing layer opacity. And for paper texture I just use one from my set and apply overlay to the layer. Please comment if you have any idea. Hope you enjoy this video, and thanks for support. I'll see you in the next video.